At this, my heart also trembles and leaps out of its place. Listen, listen to the thunder of his voice and the rumbling that comes from his mouth. God thunders wondrously with his voice. He does great things that we cannot comprehend. For to the snow, he says, fall on the earth. Some words there from the ever-curious book of Job and photographs which illustrate the fact that when it comes to snow, Wales has got nothing on Canada. Something for which many of us will be grateful, and one or two of us are a little frustrated. But whether it is a snow-strewn or sun-soaked day where you are, I hope it finds you well as we come to this week's Midweek Reflection. So last week I was on the hills where we did have a bit of a flutter of snow, and I mentioned the UN Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, which came into force last month, meaning that nuclear weapons are now illegal, banned in the countries that signed that treaty, which sadly did not include the UK. Now, some of you have been in touch and were saying that you too would like to ban nuclear weapons or see them see the earth rid of them. And so for those of you that are interested, you can add your name to a newspaper advert, I guess, campaign that's going out just before the budget. So it's going out next month or the end of this month, which urges the government to scrap their plan for renewing Trident and put the billions of pounds instead into public services. If you're interested in signing that, just Google CND and add my name, CND, add my name, and if you Google that, the links will come up straight away. But we mentioned nuclear weapons in reference to the thinking about things that we might want to ban or make illegal, from the big significant things like nuclear weapons and capital punishment to the, some would say, more minor things like banning phones in cinemas, which I don't think is too minor. So at the end of this reflection, we'll share the ones that you've sent in, which do range from the serious to the silly, as asked for. So thanks for sending those in. But to today's challenge, the week just gone was one in which we marked the first 1 year anniversary since the first COVID-19 cases were treated in the UK. And since then, we know our lives have changed immeasurably. I was just reflecting the other day on to someone about how in Castle Squares last Tuesday, the cafe that we have on a Tuesday, we said we'd have a couple of weeks break for Easter, and we'd probably be back after Easter. And there's a couple of the members left. I've probably shared this with you before. One or two of them said, see you at Christmas, see you next year, in jest. But how little did we know at the time that they would be right, and that seeing them at Christmas would have been, in fact, a real blessing. Anyway, there is hope to be had. Many more of us are getting vaccinated, and the day is getting longer, and daffodil and croci, spring flowers are beginning to be seen. So there are many reasons to be hopeful. There's even the beginnings of the talk about a timetable to releasing the restrictions. I know in Wales certainly there's the hope that some children might go back to school by the end of the month. Before all that though, let's stay with the present. And Robert James, our director and photographer extraordinaire, has come up with a lockdown art task. A way to document this strange time, to record it and perhaps enable a legacy for the future before we return to more of a semblance of normality. So it's a simple task, and we'd like as many people as possible to participate in it because it is that simple. Robert is asking, and we are asking you to send in 2 photographs. One photograph on the theme of your new normal, which might illustrate, and in Robert's words, as imaginative way as possible, what this now means to you. So it could be an act of kindness, it could be some COVID companionship, could be what you're doing with your masks and sanitizers. It could be a moment of stillness, how it's affecting your work or social life, any of these things, to take a photograph that will illustrate your new normal. So to send that in, and alongside that, to send in a self-portrait. So it could be a selfie, or it could be someone else taking a photo of you and or your family, if they give permission. So one of your new normal, something you're doing, and I would think most of us, if not all of us, could come up with something for this, to illustrate what life has been like for us in lockdown, and a photograph of you. And Robert's going to use these in the future. So if you send them in, we're assuming you give us permission to create an art piece, perhaps something for the present, but also something that we can come back to in future years to show what life was like during this this mad lockdown time. So please send them in. Send them in to me or Marcia, and we'll pass them on to Robert. And this will be an ongoing challenge. We'll remind you about this for 2 or 3 weeks, so you'll have really no excuses to get them in. But don't put it off, because you know what we're like. We'll forget, or I will. Send it in now, and we'll create a bank of those photographs. And for you shy lot, you can, the self-portrait can include your mask. So this is even one for you guys. So that's the challenge for the next couple of weeks. But next week we've got a very interesting reflection, which I'm looking forward to. But let's stay in the present for now. That's where God meets us. And this will be the end of this week's reflection. We'll share with you then the things that you would like banned. So for now, go well, and see you next time. God bless.